Hey everyone, welcome to Miss Trigger. Today I'm joined by Bartłomiej Wieszok, our
Hello.
judge, fab judge from Poland, level 2 judge, if I remember correctly, right?
Yes, level 2
Alright,
since summer.
alright, congrats. So today we will be talking about judges in Flesh and Blood, how to judge, what that means for people, why they judge instead of playing the game, like most of us. And at the end, we will have a small giveaway, thanks to Bartek. So stay with us until the end of the video. We will have a commentary lottery at the end. So hear us, and we'll see how that goes. So, Bartek, who are
Yeah.
you? What do you do in life besides judging Flesh and Blood right now? Tell us about yourself.
So I'm level 2 judge from Wrocław, Poland. On my non-judge time, I'm working in local game store, and this is basically how I got involved in everything around the trading card games. First it was playing, then because of the poor results, spoiler alert for further questions, I moved to judging, and it's really hooked me up. I really like travels, and I think I have hashtag on Twitter that I really promote is just the game, see the world. So the spin-off on the old Magic hashtag. So yeah, I'm working at my local game store because it allows me for flexibility to be on the game and to have spare time, spare weekends for travels around Europe and recently around the world.
All right. So, how did you come into Flesh and Blood? Because you were Magic judge for
Yes,
a long time, right?
Right now it will be, I think, 7 or 8 years since I'm level 2 in Magic: The Gathering, and I become Magic judge because I made up poor results on Grand Prix, and I really liked all the circus on the travels, and this was like the option to stay with the hometown community that was traveling a lot around them and still be in the party in the community. And the Flesh and Blood came straight at the end of the pandemic, so Magic still didn't have any in-person events, the large in-person events. And there was one Twitter post from Grzegorz Kowalski. He posted about the pro play, organized play for Flesh and Blood, and this was a thing that just hacked up the whole LGS community. Like all the Magic grinders, Magic players switched by night to Flesh and Blood, and the game is really hacking, really in how to say that, immersing and perfect for that.
Yeah, I remember that post by Ulrich. I saw many MTG players being interested by that post. I think it was the first announcement of the organized play ladders with the chart.
Yes, it was like the pyramid charts with the armory, skirmishes, PT Pro Quests, Pro Tours, and Worlds on the top, and Nationals, of course, that we had a month ago. So yeah.
Okay, so you are judging for 7 years professionally now, for Magic, and I think from the beginning for Fab, so around 2 years now.
Yes,
more or less.
It's like basically when they announced the initial judge program for Flesh and Blood, it was handpicked judges. It was basically only those who were involved around first version of Nationals 2 years ago, like 1 year ago. And I wasn't picked for that, but I was picked for the event, and then I just start making the level 1 whenever it was possible just to do on the platform. Then they introduced platform and level 2 exams, and I took that with some help, and now I'm here.
Okay. So how hard was the level 2 exam? Because I have the level 1 judgeship as well. I do that in every game I play because I work in the LGS too. So I do that mainly for running events and so. But I did not see the level 2 exam. So how hard is that?
So it's harder. Like the level 1 exams, I would say, have like 3-4 cards interacted in between themselves on the questions. Level 2, I think most of the exams will have interaction between 5 or 6 cards or tokens.
Okay.
And I can vote on my mistakes. Reading the cards is really important. So they are answers that's different, basically based on one sentence or half of the sentence on one of the cards that you can easily miss. And on the tournament scenario, I think it will be a little bit harder to miss, but yeah, it's a little bit harder. The policy, like, because this exam have 2 parts, the game rule part, this is the harder one, and the policy that I think it's similar to level 1 exam policy. If we have that right now, I don't know.
So you can check the policies and the punishments and so on in the documents, right? So
yeah, so this is a thing I think not any judge that approach the exam knows, that you can answer the questions with the documents in PDF open. So you can use PDF, like, you can use Discord, because we checking your knowledge on finding the answers. We don't requesting you to know 200-page rulebook by heart.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's something I think many people forget about, that judges are not forced to like memorize the whole game by every word. It's not the skill that you need. You need to know where to find those informations and find them as fast as possible in the tournament scenario. So yeah,
on
that's
the event, I much more prefer the judge that can in 30 seconds find the rule, because the judge know the layout of the rules and not to have it from the mind.
Okay. All right. So you are judging right now, but do you enjoy playing Flesh and Blood? And do you play often?
I try to play almost every week. Mostly those are armories in my local game store after the shift. I would like to play more. I think I might play some ProQuest in the upcoming season. Because my LGS didn't get one, so I will have spare weekend to do that.
Okay.
And yeah, I really enjoy the game. I think it's really interesting. It's really complicated on the good level. I try to have all the cards in the playsets ready to build any kind of deck that I need. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, you have very interesting way of storing your cards in a drawer, right? I saw the picture on Twitter.
Yes. So basically, when I start thinking about Flesh and Blood more seriously, like a year ago, I know that this is the time. I tried all the times to organize my Magic card collection. It was never feasible of task to do.
Yeah.
So I know that the game have 5 sets. This is the time. If I start making good collection, good system for sorting, it will work fine. And basically now I have all the playsets by the class in a drawer ready to be deck builded.
All right, so which Flesh and Blood event was the biggest challenge for you to judge?
I think it will be the second Pro Tour. The second Pro Tour, or the Calling Utrecht, because on both of those I got the positions that I never did before. On Pro Tour it was being lead responsible for all the side events on Saturday. Gladly there was not so many side events because everyone's playing either Calling Day 1 or Pro Tour Day 2. Yeah. But Utrecht, it was the first time that I was a happy judge, so like the head judge mini version. And this was like the biggest for me for now, the most challenging one.
Okay. Was it stressful?
Yes, mostly because one of the player, I'm not mentioning him, but he's from the Another Friendly podcast. But yeah, it's always stressful. Like whenever you can mess up, and whenever you have bigger position on the event, the bigger you can mess up. It's always stressful.
Okay. All right. So tell us about your hardest judge decision in your life, whether it's Magic or Flesh and Blood. What was the hardest call you had to make?
I think if I can found one of, like, there are multiples of the hardest one. It will be all the situation that required me to disqualify a player.
Okay.
It was, I think, the hardest one was on the one of the qualifiers in the old system for Magic. It was sort of toss a coin between like disqualifying for intended cheating or not.
Okay.
I was convinced enough to remove the player from the event, but I still don't like that situation at all. Like all the disqualifications, like it may feel that judges like to punish players, but this is definitely not. The disqualifications are really stressful both for the players and on the judge side, especially when the player is like really emotional about this.
Okay. So, how often would you say there are actually disqualifications in Flesh and Blood? Because I know about a few, but I'm not sure it's that common. And is it more common than in Magic or less?
I don't know about Krakow, but excluding calling Krakow, on every calling size event that I was judging, there was a disqualification at least one, either on
Okay.
main event or side events. Those are not like uncommon. I mean, they will happen on every event, but it will be like one or two, depending on the situation. It's like very. The most important part, I think, is to know that this is nothing that we are looking for. We are not trying to actively find someone to disqualify. It's something that happens. I will say it's opposite. Sometimes we try to find reasoning not to disqualify someone who should be disqualified.
All right. So you don't have any crazy point system when you disqualify enough players, you get a bike or something?
No.
No.
I get any points for match losses or IP penalties.
All right. That's good to know. Okay. So how often do you contact other judges? Because players interact basically every day. You go to Facebook groups, talk about new spoilers, Discords, any Facebook chats, Twitter, of course. But how often do you actually talk to other judges? How often do you have something to talk about? Maybe some new rules or new questions or something?
I don't know how other judges, but I myself, I'm in contact with other judges daily. Basically, we have a really large international judge Discord, and this is the place when we discuss either rulings that we need to have right now. If, for example, you are judging event and you need to, if you have a complicated situation, you don't know the answer, this is the place when you can pose the question, tag SOS, and available judges will, like, in 2 minutes give you a correct answer. And we have also discussions there about upcoming, maybe not upcoming policies, but like policies that we currently have, the rules with interactions that happens, some clarifications, or just small discussion about who posted different cards. So
Okay.
this is a really like involved community.
Yeah, Judge Discord is actually pretty big. I was actually surprised when this was first announced. I was not convinced it will be that active as it is, but yeah, and it's really good place to find some answers. That's true. Um, okay, so what are the most like common, the stupidest things that players do that get them in trouble? Because of course, if you cheat on the event and you will get caught, that's an obvious one. But what are the things that people often forget or do, like out of sloppiness or something, and it can be really hurtful for them?
Like, I think it might not be out of sloppiness, but out of laziness. The biggest issue is not taking enough care about your sleeves.
Okay.
Like, I know that this was a big penalized before in the previous iteration of penalty guide about marked sleeves, and you could quite easily get disqualified for that. Thankfully, we fixed that. We are not so much punished on this topic right now. But if you are playing particular deck every twice a week for the last 2 months, it will be marked, not intentionally, but the sleeves will tear down, wear out, and as a judges on the deck checks, we will see that. We probably goodly assume that this is just by random mistake, but it's stressful because if you have cards that you are sideboarding only for one matchup, that card will be way less turned down on the sleeve, and it easily be assumed that this is a marked card. So take care of your sleeve. I know that many pro players have habit to buying new sleeves for the large events. So before Worlds, grab your pack, support your local game store.
That's true.
It will give you a peace of mind, and also if you are using double sleeving, make sure that all cards are double sleeved, especially when you are borrowing cards from other players, because these things happens.
And you have the same inner sleeves because they can vary.
If you are using smoked inner sleeves, then make sure that they are the same.
Yeah. All right. So this is a very large topic, I would say, and it was very much talked on Twitter and Facebook in the past few months. Foiled cards. This is a common problem. Some of the cards that are rainbow foiled can curl a little bit. It's mostly from moisture. I think that older sets have that problem more than the new ones. I think most of my not even cards, I have some of them here, are from the Welcome to Wraith or Arc.
The promos are really curling. That
Yes, and the promos are as well. Yeah, that's true. So this was heavily discussed because most people actually like to have foil cards. They are pretty. You want to use them if you have them, especially promos maybe. But there were some problems because of those curls, that some cards were determined as marked on the official events. So what's the actual solution? Because these are legal products. It is not the player's fault technically, but actually you should not use them. It seems to be so. How is it looked from viewed from the judge's perspective? What's the guidelines here and so on?
So, couple points. First, my play collection, I avoid to having foils in my drawer because I don't want to have any kind of possibilities for the issues. And I honestly recommend that if you have non-foil version of the card and you want to play, better use that one than foil one. The main point is the player is responsible for making that his deck or their deck is unmarked. Mm-hmm. One of the points will be the cards are not bended in any way that we can see the card while shuffling or while the deck is laying on the table. If you have foiled commons that are bended, if they are random, if without any patterns, we'll just ask you to fix that either by replacing them for the non-foil or to unbending them. But the best option will be, if you have cards that you cannot replace, to check with the head judge or the deck check team judge, so they can see if the deck is right now considered marked by them. Because not every foil will be that way. And while you can easily find replacements for commons or rares, the Majestics and the Legendary or Fabled are the biggest issue. We have policy for that right now, that if you go to the head judge before the event, if the card will be considered marked, and we cannot reasonably ask you to provide non-foil version, either because it will be like really expensive to buy playset of Command and Conquers, or there are no existing version of the card, mostly the Fables, then we will give you an official proxy, but we will try not to do that. So yeah, foils, if you are aiming to play a little bit more professional, try avoid them. And if you are using them, make sure that the deck is not marked. One of the options might be just to have all foils cards, but that will be a little bit expensive.
Actually, this is a problem sometimes because I have a full playset of foiled warrior commons, warrior cards. All the cards are all Majestics. This was my first deck, and I like the promo cards. But actually, right now we have one card that is heavily used, and you cannot get them in foils, which is Glistening Steelblade. Luckily, the double sleeving helps enough. I've had that deck checked, and it's fine. So that's okay. But yeah, it can be an issue. So I think it's really important that people understand that this is not some malicious thing that judges do to bring down your fun level of using your card and so on. But if some foils are really distinguishable, it can be a problem. So.
Yeah. Also keep in mind, there are options to mitigate this, like using, I think this is from the KMC, the Perfect Fit Hearts is a top loader. The profit that is a little bit thicker, and it's like allows to mitigate the curling, or taking care that you have good humidity in the deck box. I know the players that are using like the silicone pouches from, I don't know, I think shoe. If you bought, then you have because the moisture is the thing that makes the card curl.
Yeah, that's true.
Also keep in mind that this might change over the time during the event. So even at the beginning of the event, head judge will say, oh yeah, that looks good. We have no issue with curling foils. After a couple of rounds, it might change. And this is true for foils and for just wear and tear on the regular sleeve. So.
All right, so now that we know that you are actually a judge and you know some things, we will test your knowledge about Flesh and Blood. So I have some very random questions.
Not just related situation, I hope.
Oh no, we have some different things in here, so we will check how well you know the game.
Sure.
So first topic is general knowledge about the game. How many heroes do we currently have legal in Classic Constructed?
How many heralds? Heroes.
How many heroes are legal in Classic Constructed right now?
I don't know why I have number 12 on my mind. It might be the number of classes, but...
Yes, I think so.
So we have... I will go with 16?
Yeah, that's a good guess. Yeah, we actually have 16 legal heroes right now. I checked that before the recording, so I hope I checked it right. But
yeah. For now, we have Battle Hardened going around somewhere. Maybe something changed.
Oh yeah, maybe something changed in like a few hours. All right, so how many Blitz deck products you can buy right now? Official right Blitz deck product, yes.
I would go with 7. No, 10. 10 is the answer.
It's 9, but it was close. Because we have 4 Monarch ones,
Yes.
3 from Tales of Aria, and 2 from Uprising.
And Classic Battle is product.
Yeah. It's not technically a Blitz deck product, but yeah. So then you will have 11. Because it's not 10, you will have
It's
11.
one product with 2 decks, but...
Okay. There is the judge. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so what prize LSS gave out for being the first player to reach 1000 XP points in a given country?
I think it was random gold foil.
Gold foil legendary, yes.
Yeah, gold foil legendary, yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have any commons or majestic back then, and yeah. God, sorry.
Yeah, I think Polish one is still closed. We don't know what Xir got.
Yes, it is. Half of this is mine. That's the first part. Yeah, I actually lost that race by 37 points, I think, in the last day. So yeah, but he has that sealed somewhere in the bank, and I don't know what I've lost. So maybe it's good. Okay, what was the official nickname of a Monarch set that was used before we saw any actual promotional materials?
I have no idea. That's before I start playing.
Okay. So yeah, this was actually pretty big. The set name was supposed to be Kingdoms, or that was the name that was given to us. It became a meme later on. So that's why every set is called Kingdoms at the start.
Okay.
At least in a part of a community, yeah, we were all convinced. Also, I think that there is a card in Monarch. It's called Talisman of Dowsing.
Yes.
That has some inscriptions, and it was deciphered as Kingdoms 2021.
It have hide that somehow the kingdom and something more. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we actually, I don't think we know if it was supposed to be Kingdoms and got changed to Monarch, or it was just a meme, but yeah. All right, now we move to lore questions. These are, I think, easy ones. I don't know anything about lore, so I was not able to come with really hard ones. So how many regions do we have in Wraith?
We have Solana, we have Volcror, we have Savage Lands, then we have the Steampunk one, so it's 4. The Chain, I think this is his own region, so I will go with 5.
Actually, 8.
Yeah, the Aria ones. The Aria is the next one.
So there's Solana and the Monastery. These are from the Monarch. The Monastery is the Shadow one. Then we have Savage Land, of course, and Volcor that we know. Then it's Mysteria, I believe. Aria, of course, and then it's Pits and Metrics. These are the Steampunk one and the shady Azalea one. Yeah. All right. So, what was the name of a carnival that arrived to Aria last year?
Oh, that's the Strevofest.
Everfest.
Oh yes, Everfest.
Pretty close. All right. Now we will check how well do you know the cards. So, card effects. What is the reprise effect on a card named Singing Steelblade?
That's a hard one. It will give you bonus to power and allows you to fetch a reaction?
Yeah, so the +1 attack is actually just reserved on the cards. Yeah, and the reprise effect is you can search for a attack reaction, banish it, and play it this combat chain. Yeah, pretty good. Most people don't remember what the cards from.
I'm always annoyed whenever this is played, so I think I know that one.
All right, this is hard. What's an Azalea hero effect? What does Azalea do?
she puts cards to your arsenal. You reveal the top card, and it's an arrow. You can put it to your arsenal, I think.
Pretty close, I would say. So it's once per turn effect, of course. Cost 0. You put a card from your arsenal on the bottom of your deck, so you have to already have a card in arsenal. Then you put the top card face up into your arsenal. If it's an arrow, it gains dominate until the end of the turn.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's like the Azalea problem, that you already need to have the card in the arsenal. So that's when you're using the helmet to opt the card to the top and so on. Okay, what's the effect of fabled card Eye of Ophidia?
It's opt 3 on.
Oh, that would be good. It's opt 2.
Opt 1, opt 2.
Oh, okay. Good, yeah. Oh, opt 3 would be spicy. All right, rules. So now we will test your judging skills. I think most of them are easy, but I think these are also very common questions or common problems. So hopefully people will learn something. So the first one: can you block with a card that has 0 defense?
Yes, you can block with card that have 0 defense.
Yes.
The main distinction is that the card needs to have 0 defense, not non-existing value of defense.
Like most instances have. So basically, if you have a small shield and a value of some sort, you can block with.
It's like whenever Dash have the attack that force you to use equipment to block, you can use like, I don't know why you have, but Arcan Neuron boots that have 0 defense of the value, because they still have the shield printed on them.
Yeah, it protects your tunic or any other piece of equipment, basically. And you can do some weird things with attacks that have 0 defense, and you can boost them with Art of War, for example. But they're really edge cases. But
I don't think we have cards with 0 defense that are not
actually,
or
these are not legal anymore. Ball Lightning has 0 defense.
Okay. Oh, I did.
Yeah. Actually, but you're right. We don't have that anymore, at least for now. All right. So imagine this: we are playing at the Pro Tour. I finish my turn. I put a card in the arsenal, and I have 1 card left in hand. I put the card aside on my playmat, and I proceed to draw 4 cards by accident, seeing 5 cards in total in my hand. What's the resolution of the problem?
So basically what happens here, you draw too many cards to your hand. Basically you have now 5 card hand. Yes. We know that one card that was there originally. So we are gonna reveal the 4 cards that you had drawn to your opponent. The opponent will choose one of them and decide either to put it on top or on the bottom of your deck.
Okay.
So the card that you should have on your hand will be hidden, and you will still have that card. Okay. But the remaining 3 will be known to your opponent, and the opponent will be choosing which you keep.
Okay, good. Can you play a deck without sleeves on a competitive level tournament?
That's a tricky one.
Actually, I don't know. I was hoping you know. I have no idea.
I would go with yes, but
I know that in some games you need to have a sleeves, and you need to have sleeves with a back to prevent.
Fantasy Flight games.
Yes,
require you to have.
Yeah, that's correct.
I will not be surprised if this is the same policy. To be honest, I don't know.
Okay, so if you know that. Write in the comments. Oscar will know for sure. He will let us know.
Yeah.
All right. So the last one: can you respond to an opponent putting a counter on tunic?
No. This is a thing that happens at the beginning of the turn, and this is the phase when no players have purity. Basically, you have one more phase of that kind. This is the end phase. As a wizard, you cannot do anything between player putting card into arsenal and drawing their 4 cards. So neither at the beginning or at the end of the turn player have priorities.
Okay. All right, so now we've established that you actually know the game. You can stay a judge. That's good to know. So we have the last thing in today's video. We have a small giveaway, which is a gift from you. So I will let you tell our viewers what that is, and then I will explain the rules for getting.
So the gift is not from me. The gift is basically like from the judge community by proxy.
Okay.
Because one of my good judge friend, Ward from Brussels, Ward from Belgium.
Oh.
No, Brussels is in Belgium. Yes?
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
I think so.
Brussels. He's not from Brussels.
Okay.
Ward from Belgium have a store, and that store will be running Battle Hardened in January, the end of January. It's, let me quickly check the date. It's 28th of January, and he allowed me to give out a golden ticket. If you go to the event website, you can see that they have multiple events on a couple of days. They have Battle Hardened on Saturday, Sunday will be ProQuest, and Friday will be large armory with multiple armory kits in the prizes. And we have a ticket for that event, and the ticket allows you to enter to all 3 events. So it's not only Battle Hardened, but it's also ProQuest and Armory if you arrive on Friday. No beers included in the ticket. Those you need to buy yourself.
I think that's fair enough. All right, so give my thanks to Ward. First of all, this is really a great gift, and for all the viewers, how can you get that? You have to put a comment under this video describing your judge interaction that you remembered. Either it was a funny one or really stressful, or maybe you had a problem and judge helped you solve that in the tournament. Whatever you like. I think most of us interact with judges on most events, at least at some capacity. And it's good to show them that they are remembered. So if you have a situation like that, put that in the comment below, and we will randomly choose one comment. You can comment up until 30th of this month. So we have 8 days from the recording, so you should have around 7 days to watch the video and comment. I will try to make the video public tomorrow, and yeah, we will make a small video live, and we will just randomly take one name, one YouTube name, of course. So you will have to contact us later, and you will get this golden ticket for Battle Hardened and ProQuest, which is where. What's the? It's Leeds? No, Leeds is
No.
UK, right?
It's Brussels, and it's next to Antwerp, if I remember correctly. I know that the place is weird. It's a small city, but it's really good connect. Like the whole Belgium is a really good connect. So don't be afraid if you Google the place. You will be able to arrive there in a reasonable way.
Okay.
So, really recommend.
All right, so thank you very much, Bartek, for joining us today, for talking about your judges' experience. Hopefully, we will see each other in the near future on some events, probably in Poland, because you are going to Worlds, right?
Yes, I'm going to Worlds. I'm going. It will be my second trip to US, and we will see. It might be the answer for your previous question. It might be the hardest event that I judge. We will know.
Okay. So I will ask you again after the event. I will for sure watch the streams from that. I'm not going this time, so I will root for our players, of course, and our judges. So thank you very much once again. Thank you all for watching. Remember to like the video, subscribe to any crazy thing that YouTube likes, and see you in the next one. Bye.